each of these bulbs is about the size of a duck. Greetings people of the YouTube, it's Multiplier here for part 4 of the new studio. And as you can see, using your eyes and vision, I've started to plug stuff in and started to experiment with different layouts because, yeah, let me run you through what's going on. So basically, I flipped you upside down in editing. So basically what I've done is I've started to plug stuff in and I've started to experiment with different layouts because basically when I first started to do this, I thought, right, I know exactly where everything's going to go, just going to plug it all in, but it turned out it wasn't quite as simple as that because, well, basically, yeah, let me show you the first thing that is different to what you might expect. So, first of all, that's the main desk, which is, yeah, doing exactly what you would expect it to do, being a main desk, etc. Fantastic, but also, I have the secondary desk, which is the freeform fun zone. Now, for those of you with a memory better than a goldfish, you'd probably expect that desk to be over here sort of thing. However, when it got to the stage of me erecting the desk, don't laugh, that is the correct word, when I erected the desk, it turned out that it just didn't quite have the right vibe over there. It just balanced out the room a million times more if I placed it at the back. And then you've got this kind of, I don't know how easy you can see, it's just got a more of a, I don't want to say feng shui because it's not really feng shui, it's not really a thing. It's got more of an aesthetically pleasing, it's got a more calming, symmetrical sort of vibe to it with the desks either end pretty symmetrical. So I ended up going for this configuration, which means that the honeys now have less space to sit because the honeys are now going to have to sit over here, which would be quite hard for the 2 or 3 of them at once to sit on, but I'm sure they'll manage it. So yeah, that's basically the main layout change that's happened. My arm's so tired, right? Arm's tired, but that's okay, swapped arms now. So yes, the freeform fun zone is now at the back. I'm going to have the whiteboard over here, and I reckon that'll work quite nicely. It's got the space for it, really, really cool. As I say, the beanbag sort of thing, some sort of chair, some sort of zone there for the honeys, which would be cool. And of course, the keyboard on the right. So, conceptually, what is the plan with the studio? What have I got going on? So, I have just recorded my video for the Collab Alliance. It's my first testing video with the new studio because what I want to do is instead of spending far too long just deciding on the studio, getting it set up and never changing it, instead I want to try different ideas out. I want to try different configurations, try different camera angles, lighting, just basically experiment and keep it a more free-form sort of fluid. It's more of a fluid sort of studio where I can move things about, I can get behind the desk to change things if I need to. For me, that just makes a lot more sense. One of my favourite things about being in this studio now, I've had some more time to be here, is how big it is compared to my old one. I've got lots of room to roam about. I can roam over here, I can roam around here, I can roam over here, more roaming over here. Now I've got a bit of clutter over here, so I can't really roam too much that way, but I can roam around here, easy peasy lemon squeezy, and then I can move that to the side, I'll get into that in a sec, and I can roam around to the back, squeezing, I can roam really easily, as you can see. I can walk behind the desk, I can roam all the way into the corner, swap arms, crikey, wowzers trousers. So I can roam all the way into the corner, which is a bit weird, but yeah, so I'm now stood in the corner, I can roam all the way over here. Look at that, different angle, so you're really high up now. So yeah, the cool thing about this is, oh, let's get me on the other side of the camera. I've always got to be in a shot, otherwise this isn't working at all. Right. I'll be back in a second. I've got a duck under here. Right. As you can see, incredibly easy to get around, which was my point. So, okay, apart from that little ducking bit, it's really easy to get around. That's my favourite bit about this studio. It's more open. So when I first started setting up this studio, one thing I really loved about it was like a blank canvas almost. I had this empty space. I had lots of sort of space to do things, and it was very creative. Like genuinely, it just puts you in a creative, productive mindset when you have this almost like blank canvas, free-form creative space. And then progressively, I've cluttered it up a bit. So I need to make sure that as I add things to the space, a big thing that I really want to focus on is not cluttering it up. So I still want to add loads of things. I've started sorting out some acoustic foam treatment stuff, so that's all in process right now. So basically, I want to make sure that anything I add and any configuration thing I do doesn't clutter up the space. I want it to still feel like an open space, because that's really important creatively for you to enjoy the space. And right now you can see lighting wise, it's actually really light in here. And when I did my Collab Alliance video, I didn't actually use the softbox. So at the moment I just have my single softbox over here. Angle it more towards like that. Cool, so that is where the softbox might end up moving from, but I thought that'd be perfect right there. However, it turned out that especially, I mean, when it's a bright day outside, it's absolutely fine with no lighting, I thought, because I've got 2 windows instead of normally at the old studio I just had 1. And also just more light coming in. So yeah, check out the Collab Alliance video in a few days to see what that looked like. But certainly I thought with normal lighting conditions, absolutely fine. I mean, it is an incredibly hot blue skies day. It's like 32 degrees outside right now, which is ridiculous for England. So the lighting will be different normally. If it's a cloudy day, I probably would need the softbox, but yeah, certainly on a bright day, I didn't even need additional lighting, which I thought was really, really cool. But yes, as I say, I think I will at least temporarily keep the softbox in the studio for days it's cloudy. Although thinking it through, actually, it might make sense to move it into one of the other rooms temporarily, if I don't need it that often. Saying that, there is something a little bit nice. Now, you know, I was talking about keeping it clutter-free, which is really important. But psychologically, I love when I'm sat down in the desk. It just feels like a studio. It's absolutely amazing, especially with the lights on, the glowy colour lights, the hues. In fact, let me do some sort of edit to insert some pictures of that. In fact, what I can do is I can do some talking, insert the picture while I'm talking, and you'll see the picture. Right, so do that edit. So, looking at the picture, isn't that beautiful? Yeah, so that is literally just one of the Hugo lights you're seeing in the corner, set to pink mode. But the cool thing is, because these lights, these Hugos are portable, I can move them about and create any vibe I want, and especially at night time with all the gear and the space and the white walls, just got a really good vibe. And especially as I add more and more things in here, it'll feel even better, even better, which will be fantastic. So the lighting is going absolutely swimmingly. And I'm back on camera. You can look at my face, lucky people. You're right. So next, evolution. So at the moment, what I used to do is plug the microphone into the preamp, this little grey guy down here. So I used to plug the microphone into there, and then from the mic preamp into the Focusrite 6i6. However, when I tried to do that, filming for this Collab Alliance video, which you can actually see there, when I tried to do that, the preamp just didn't work, and I thought it was the cable, because I fully expected the cables to be broken after Cable Apocalypse, see previous video. Which would have been really annoying, so I would have had to drive for half an hour to find another XLR cable. But it turned out the cable's fine. It was my mic preamp that was misbehaving. So I might be broken, but it turned out you can actually just go straight into the 6i6. So a bit embarrassing that I was actually using a mic preamp the whole time that I didn't need to. I mean, yes, I have to have, it's got phantom power, so it does everything it needs to, but I have to have the preamp about all the way up to 80%, which I know technically is too high. It did work. I think I will try and get a proper mic preamp at some stage anyway, just because I know you shouldn't have the preamp gains set up anywhere near as high as 70-80%. But as a temporary solution, it does seem to work, which is really cool. I mean, I'm buying a new mic soon anyway. Again, I'm all in the process of sorting that out. So yeah, that's why I got that plugged into there, which means I can actually take that mic preamp off the desk, which will help declutter the place. Oh, also check this out. Wait, I'm going to still be on camera because then you can look at my face as I'm pointing. Right, how cool is that? So, also I bought 2 new things, and I bought one more thing, but I've opened the box of another thing that I bought previously. First of all, the USB thing, this Anchor USB thing that I showed you in a previous video. But yes, it's this thing here. Let me do a zoom in. Right, zoom. Right, see that? How cool is that? 13 port, it's got a charging port so I can charge my phone at the same time. It's just fantastic, and it lights up when it's activated, which makes me feel like I'm in some sort of like aeroplane, James Bond, flying the spaceship to space thing or something. Really, really cool. Yeah, this is a temporary solution, I think, this desk. I haven't quite figured out what I'm going to do. I need some form of space for my laptop, USB hub, and then I've got a few more hard drives that I do want to keep around there. But I haven't quite figured out the best way to do it, because I don't want to put a massive desk there or anything that's going to clutter up the room too much. So I almost want to figure out maybe just go to IKEA and see what sort of cheap and cheerful storage solutions they have. Just some way of storing everything that doesn't clutter up the room. So I just really, really don't want to clutter this room up, otherwise it'll be a bit of a waste. So I need to figure out what to do there. But as a temporary solution, at least, this does seem to be working pretty well. I mean, I need to sort out my cable management because it's a bit ridiculous. And then you'll also notice something different, which is I bought a tripod for £20, really cheap and cheerful one, because of course I'm not using it for photography. I'm just simply, let me get back in the shot. Yes, the reason why I went for this is yeah, cheap and cheerful. So it's just holding a webcam. We'll probably hold the GoPro as well for the time zones of the GoPro. But yeah, so I can experiment with different camera angles. I mean, one of the cool things about this studio is I have lots of different angles that do seem to work. I think it'll definitely come from over here, but I haven't decided whether I want, say, the camera to be there, which is what it would be like in the Collab Alliance video coming out in a few days. In fact, a good half of you statistically will be watching this not the day it comes out, so you'll be watching it once the Collab Alliance video is live. So check out that video for that angle and how it looks. I think it works okay. I haven't had a good chance to look at the edit and really appreciate and analyze it and just feel it out, but it seems to work alright as a temporary thing. I'm going to try different positions and stuff, but yeah, at least now I have a tripod, I have more options, elevating different heights and stuff, but yeah, pretty cool, right? So a temporary solution. Well, it will become permanent once I figure out what the most logical permanent angle is, and then of course I might even be able to get a second camera angle at some stage if I can figure out a good workflow, flippy. Because yeah, in an ideal situation, what I want is multiple camera angles, maybe one like room one, and then one more close up on my face. That way you can do cutting shots and basically like B-roll, not B-roll, multi-camera edits. There might be some other fancy name, but basically, yeah, if you have multiple cameras, you can make it look a lot more professional, which is really, really cool. But it's the workflow thing for me that is currently holding me back. But maybe if I can figure out a good workflow solution in the short to mid-term, that'd be sweet, and I can have multiple camera angles. That'd be dope. And yes, that is that side. There's a softbox here. In fact, let me show you something really cool. I'll just spin this side of the camera. So this is I'm too far. So this is the soft box, which is my lighting. In fact, if I plug it in, no, I won't plug it in. I'll plug it in. Right. It's too hot already. I'm protected against surges. No, that's good. So so that is the soft box. It's insanely light and insanely hot as well. So it's daylight, so it doesn't conflict with the temperature of the light coming in through the windows. Really, really important. So unplug that. But yeah, check this out. I'm going to sneak inside of this thing. Check out how big those bulbs are. That's what she said. But I can't really give you a sense of scale, but it's about the size. Each of these bulbs is about the size of a duck. Humongous. I mean, you really can't tell from this angle, but they're really, really cool. Humongous bulbs. Back on the camera. So let me explain what's going on in the back of the room currently. I'm really excited. So, I mean, there's a pile of just random-ish on the floor. I mean, just random-ish stuff. Some of it I need, some of it I don't. And then this is the freeform fun zone, which at the moment I haven't figured out what I'm going to do with it. I haven't figured out what's going on with that yet. I'll figure it out. But yeah, it's a concept right now where I haven't figured it out. I just haven't figured it out. I haven't got time yet. I've been busy doing that side of the room. So I'll figure out what to do with this disc. One of the concepts, oh, flip my arm tired already, right. Drop the phone. Oh, are you little right now? I think I pressed a button on the screen. How do I'm gonna start again. I think I pressed the wrong button for exposure. Anyway, not important. So yes, the main concept with the freeform fun zone that I want to explore is not cluttering it up, because right now there's just chaos, and if I wanted to have a go at DJing, there's no way I can do it. I feel like I was boxed in, and yeah, I mean, it's not very, you know, knocked over, right? It's not a very strong desk either, so I don't quite know how it's going to work long term with the freeform fun zone. But yes, basically at the moment I need to figure out what I'm going to do. Do I want to keep all my gear out? Yeah, let me know in the comments, by the way. Do you think I should leave most of the freeform funtivities, fun toys, all the freeform fun things, should I leave them all out, so they're all out and they look cool and all that kind of stuff? Or should I somehow store them somewhere, again looking cool, and then leave this a more open zone, focusing on just one or two things that I want to use at the time, and therefore creatively I don't feel boxed in or anything like that. What's your instinct? Do you think I should leave everything out, or just try and clear the desk off? And because I can always get storage solutions for all the things, so I can always find somewhere to like display all my freeform fun toys, all my kind of buttons and lights and stuff I'm going to buy as well, more stuff. I'll find a good way to store it. That's the sentence I was trying to get to. So I could always find a good way to store it. The question is, should I keep the desk free? My instinct is yes, keep it pretty free. Maybe get some sort of lower down storage solution or display, not cabinet, some sort of display thing for all the things, but at the same time try not to clutter the place up. I've said that a few times now. I know I've said that a million times now, but I think it's really, really important, especially last night as I was doing some plugging in and I had the lights on and stuff. It was just such a creative space. And it's just really, really cool to have space to do things, and I wasn't like being imposed upon by sound treatment, and I wasn't having cables all in a tangle, and I wasn't bumping into stuff, and there wasn't 10 things on the desk. It was just nice. So I want to try and keep that spirit alive the whole way through the studio, and that will probably involve some experimenting. But yeah, let me know what you think. How will I best display these? Do you reckon some sort of lower down thing below the table? Because I mean, I'm not going to be sat down at this desk. I'll be going up here, fist bumping, twiddly, etc. So yeah, I haven't really decided yet, but should be cool. Also, yeah, I think I mentioned, but I'm starting the process of ordering some acoustic treatment for here, not to make it sound amazing, but just to deaden the reverb a little bit. I mean, certainly you can probably notice the reverb isn't as bad right now. Now I have some stuff in here to absorb some of the reflections. But, not reflections, yeah, I suppose reverberations, but yeah, should be cool once I get a little bit of sound deadening in here. I don't want to, again, cluster up the place, but I should also give it more of a studio vibe in addition to the current studio things, which is cool. And I have internet, which I'm super excited about, so I'll put that on the floor actually. So yeah, this is really a working space right now. I need to figure out what to do with it. And yeah, I think I might need to do an IKEA trip to figure out what storage options are available. I need to order the whiteboard as well. In fact, maybe I can order that without measuring, that's fine, I'll just guess. And I think that'll be it for this video. The next video will probably come out in a few days' time once I do some more dialing in, figure out more stuff with the stuff. I need to figure out what I'm doing with the freeform fun zone. That's got to be one of the main priorities. Actually, no, the main priority is going to be making sure that works as a workplace, basically. If that doesn't work as a screensaver, that was weird, right? Because if I got distracted by screensaver, if that doesn't work as a workspace, then I can't earn money to buy all the other stuff. So I need to get that working most importantly, and then second most importantly, get the freeform fun zone conceptually figured out. And then I can really start to dial in the place to make more fine-tuning decisions, which I love doing. Also, cable management, because at the moment, I mean, if you look at, whoop, spin, right, cool. If you look at that, I mean, that may not look like the biggest deal in the world, but when I'm sat down, it looks just like it's not good. I need to find a good way to manage the cables, and there may even be some little life hacky solutions. I think I've seen some on the internet which I need to try out. So I need to, yeah, if you have any cable management tips, let me know. Also, I don't really like all those cables down there. If there's a way I can hide the cables behind that wood, that'd be really, really cool. Yeah, so I think that'll be it for this video. I'll look at the tape measure, I can measure things with this. So yes, I will see you in did I say part 4? Part 5, this is part 4. So yes, I will see you in part 5 of the multiplier. Catch you on the flipping.